Good morning, YouTube! Welcome to my new channel. This is my first video on Algos and Rhythms. So I'm so excited to teach you guys some coding. And this is a great learning experience for me too. So I hope you guys are enjoying. I surely am. First, I think it's a great idea to cover all bases in terms of our programming languages. So our two main ones today are Java and Python, and I think it's a good goal to kind of understand the fundamentals behind both of them. The applications are quite similar with Java and Python. I think most of you will find Python to be a little easier in terms of syntax and trying to approach a problem, but I think both of them are fundamentally very strong languages to learn and very powerful languages to learn. There are many libraries associated with both of them, and once you become more and more advanced with future projects, I think you'll shine in both of these languages. So let's get on with our practice. For coding problems, I'd recommend coding BAT. I think Python is a great way to start to learn coding. That's how we did it at Berkeley, and that's how I'm going to start you guys off. So let's do it. First, we're going to do warm up 1, and we're going to do sleep in. So let's see if we can do it. Alright, so the parameter weekday is true if it is a weekday, and the parameter vacation is true if we are on vacation, and we sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation. So we should return true if we sleep in. So those are the instructions. Basically, this mumbo jumbo is, pretty simple to understand in terms of Python. In fact, it looks just like English in Python. So here the word parameter is just referring to what's inside the parentheses here. Basically, the point of this is they're giving us a function. Whenever you see something like def, that's basically saying we're defining a method, a function, and the function name is going to be called sleepin. So that's just telling our program that, hey, this is the function. We want it to do whatever's inside the function. Now, clearly the function is blank, which means we have to type in some code to make that function do something. And we're allowed to understand what weekday and vacation is. That those are our two parameters into our function. So we know that weekday is true if it is a weekday. So this automatically tells me that weekday is a Boolean parameter. And so a parameter is just, once again, something that comes into our function as something that's passed in and something that we can use for a return value. And basically we can act on those two parameters to do something with our function. It looks like we know that weekday is a parameter. It can return true if it is a weekday, so I'm guessing Monday through Friday, and then it's false if it's Saturday and Sunday, and then the parameter vacation is true if we are on vacation. And so I'm guessing normal holidays like Christmas, New Year's. Speaking of New Year's, Happy New Year's to all of you. It's December 31st on my end at 4 in the morning, so very excited to not sleep this whole week. But yeah. um, yeah, so we are basically on vacation if that Boolean is true, and then we sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation. So here I can just say we're returning whether, right? And this is some English. We sleep in and it's not a weekday. I should put and not weekday. And then sleep in is basically decided by actually, yeah, sleep in is what we're returning, so we don't really care about the word sleep in. Return true if we sleep in. Okay, so basically if these two conditions are met, we are sleeping in. So that is very important to know. Now we're returning whether we sleep in if it's not a weekday or we're on vacation. So not weekday. I should put the and to the right of that. and we're on vacation. On vacation, right? So vacation is true. So vacation. So whether or not weekday and vacation. Now putting this into Python, Python doesn't really understand the word weather, so it looks more like this: not weekday and vacation. And so we sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation. The interesting thing to notice is this is a word or. That should be right here as well. And just like English, Python is syntactically a little different, um, but this should be good to go. And so basically what we're saying here is vacation is true, then this is true. Or if it's not a weekday, like Saturday or Sunday, then this whole condition is met. And something to understand about true or false boolean. So let me kind of write this down. Booleans are in Python true or false, right? They hold values. So if you say something like weekday equals true, right? You're setting a variable called a weekday and saying, hey, that's true. So if we say here hashtag not weekday, that's basically saying not of a truthy variable, and that should return false, right? So it's not a weekday, it's like Saturday or Sunday. Another thing is and or statements. So and versus or. And means that all conditions have to be satisfied. And so it's like basically you want to think about every single type of condition as a boolean, and if they're all true, then you can return true, or that whole condition is true. So let me give you an example. Yeah, and means that all conditions must be true. So, or I should capitalize true because Python is case sensitive with true or false. So if I give you an example, right? If I do something like, well, 1 equals 1. Is that true? Is 1 equal to 1? Yes. And we have a double equals here denoting is equal to, right? And 2 equals 2. Or, I put a 3 there. Whoops. 2 equals 2. What do you think this will return? This will return true. 1 is equal to 1 and 2 is equal to 2. So that's true, right? How about this? That is false. 2 is not equal to 3, and so the whole condition returns false. Now what if I put or here? What do you think would happen? We'd actually get true, because only one of the statements has to be true. I could put any number of arguments, or any number of conditions, sorry, after. So I could say true equals false, or 0 equals 1, you know. Really, all these statements could be false, you know. But the first thing that's caught in the list of conditions is 1 equals 1, and then you have an or after that, you know. And so you really don't even have to evaluate these, right? Something cool about Python is if you do this. What do you think it's going to return? Since it's detecting an or between two statements, it's going to return true here. It's not even going to return true. Sorry, it's going to return the truthy value. It's going to return 5, you know? So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so now that you know and or, and I can just write down or. And then that's the difference. So let's see if this works. And it's a perfect score. I like seeing that. And surely I think we'll be I think one of the most important things about programming from here on out is that um, coding involves a lot of failures. You know, a lot of testing and a lot of failing, a lot of debugging, a lot of corrections, minor tweaks, and eventually you get to the correct result. This problem was not too hard, but we'll deal with fairly challenging problems ahead. And it's okay if we don't see these all corrects just in our first attempt, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's not our job to get something correct at the very first try, unless you're in some coding interview. But our job is mainly to be the best we can possibly be at debugging, you know, so that we have the ability to fix something. Because nobody really cares about you getting the correct solution as much as they care about you being able to go to multiple trials, multiple failures, and then coming up with the correct result on your own. Right? That'd be cool. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of this channel. So yeah, we'll go through more Python problems on coding bat, and hopefully you guys will stick around to enjoy these. Alright, I loved having you over. Take care and have a great rest of your day.